All right, we are now ready to start the NC State press conference. I'd remind you again that the locker rooms are now open for NC State. Tennessee's locker room will be open when they come up here. There's no flash photography, no videotaping. Make sure your phones are on mute. If you have a question, please raise your hand and wait for a microphone to come to you. At this time, we'd like to ask Coach Moore to make an opening statement.
Yeah, I'm just really proud of these young ladies. After jumping out to a nice lead at halftime, I thought we played extremely well that first half, but we knew they were going to make a run. And, they got so much talent. They're so well prepared and well coached that we knew, it was going to be a battle. And after they made the run, these young ladies somehow found the grit and competitiveness to find a way to get it done. So really proud of them. Come a long way. When you get to this point, it's a great accomplishment. We're going to enjoy it for a day or two, and then obviously you get greedy and try to get a little bit more. But really proud of the plays, in particular these two made all night long. They stepped up big time. They worked hard all summer, and now they're enjoying the fruits of their labor, and our team is as well. So great team win, but obviously these two played really well.
All right, thank you, Coach. At this time, we'll open the floor up for questions for the student athletes. Once again, questions for student athletes only. Let's start with Aaron up here. Yeah, Aaron, wait for the microphone, please.
This is for both of you. Just kind of when it got down to 2 points after you've been up 20, kind of what was going through your mind at that point? And as you obviously hit a couple of big baskets in response to that, but kind of walk me through for both of you what those moments were like in trying to wrestle control back.
Isaiah, could you go first, please?
Just keeping your head up. It don't matter. Like you said, we was 2 points up, and we came to our huddle and was like, don't give up. Just keep your head up, keep pushing. That's what we did.
Sanaya, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I think we knew it was a possibility. We watched the game when they played South Carolina, and they came back from like a 20-point deficit. So we didn't want it to happen, but it happened. And we, like she said, we just kept our head up, stayed together. As a point guard, I tried to make sure that we stayed composed at the end, and I think it worked well for us in the end.
Questions for the student athletes? Let's go in the middle there.
This is for both players. I felt like all the guards, you guys made a concerted effort to drive to the rim. Was that you just wanted to be more physical with them in the paint?
Sanaya, can you go first?
Absolutely. We always want to be aggressive. Coach Moore really emphasizes touching the paint, whether it's we're hitting the post or whether it's the guards attacking. Sometimes we get the layup, sometimes we have to kick. I think both options were there for us tonight. I think our three ball looked pretty decent, but I got a couple of layups in there. It's hard going in there against those trees in there, Tamara Key, but you got to go in there with confidence, just put your head down and go. So.
Yeah, I agree with Naya. Same thing. Coach Moore emphasized on just attacking them more.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Let's go there, and then we'll get Lindsay.
Yeah, Metro Northern, WUNC. Sanaya, you kind of right there at the end of the game had that big key block, sort of took the ball and took off running, got fouled, and saw the smile grow across your face. Kind of clinched it in that moment. What was going through your head?
It felt good. I knew she was about to shoot it. Before she even caught the ball, I knew she was going to shoot it. They were just going to have to call a foul, but I knew I was going to get it clean. It felt good, and I knew they were going to foul me, but it would have been nice to go down there, maybe get a dunk if Coach Moore would have gave me the go-ahead. But, yeah, no, I see how you're looking at me.
All right, let's go to Lindsay.
The way you use the backboard is so unique. How did that develop? Have you always used the backboard in that way?
Just in the summer, just working on it, just day in, day out, just keep going, reps, and it just turned out good for me at the end. In this game. Sorry.
All the time.
All the time.
All right. Lindsay, do you have another question? Yeah. Okay, let's go back to Lindsay.
Just after the disappointment of last season, how much more does this mean to you now to get to the Sweet 16 after having experienced not making it?
Sanaya, could you go first?
It feels good because last year it was ugly. It wasn't fun. This year it's been so much fun since the first game, and being able to go to the Sweet 16 with my girls, it feels amazing. I haven't been here since my freshman year of college, and actually feeling like I'm a part of it this time just really means the world to me. So can't wait. I'm excited.
Isaiah, do you have anything to add?
Definitely. The way we came together and the beginning of the season, we told ourselves we didn't want the same thing to happen like last year. You know, we worked hard for this, and like Coach Moore said, it's coming right now for us. Yeah.
Okay, Sully, let's just go on the edge there.
How do you guys complement each other as a tandem, just in this game and in general?
Azai, I think it's your turn.
Like me and Sanaya, or the team, just me and Sanaya. You know, we always come together. You know, we always say, look, we got each other back. Mm-hmm. You know, if you mess up, I got you. If I mess up, she got me. So it's like that.
Sanaya, could you add something?
I'm telling you, I don't know what I would do without outside my ear. Like, we probably hug at least 3 times a game.
Yes.
It's always going to be a point I get in my head, and I got to get out of that, especially being the point guard. But she's always there. Those free throws, when I was going, like, 1 for 2 in the stretch there, she was in my ear, like, come on, we just need one. Mimi, too, but definitely Zaza, she's always in my ear, and I appreciate her very much.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Let's go over here on the side to Brian.
Brian Pearl, Pack Pride. This is for either y'all. Ever been to Portland before?
No. This is my first time.
Me either. I was actually supposed to go when I played AAU, but COVID hit. So I'm really excited. Hopefully, Coach lets us go to the Nike outlet. I'm really excited.
I mean, Adidas.
Oh, Adidas.
I'm sorry, Adidas outlet.
Sorry. maybe just window shop at Nike. Maybe
we will go to the Adidas outlet.
We'll go to the Adidas outlet.
We won't go to the other outlet.
Yeah.
It was worth a shot.
All right. Any other questions for the student athletes? Let's go up front here.
Thank you. This is for either player. Zoe Brooks played nearly half an hour of court time tonight, 16 points, 6 boards, 2 assists. Obviously, she's been showing out all year, but just talk about her growth as a freshman to help get y'all to this point.
Azai, could you take that?
Y'all seen a freshman? I ain't seen no freshman out there. That wasn't a freshman. She stepped up. She did what she's supposed to do, and she got us our points, our baskets, and a good look. So that wasn't a freshman out there.
Okay. Yeah, no, she definitely wasn't a freshman tonight. I think Zoe has grown more mentally this year. You know, of course she's going to score. She's going to do things for the team. But just mentally being able to lock in when things aren't going her way, I feel like she's definitely improving slowly but surely. So hopefully her mental continues to grow so that she can continue to scratch the surface for, you know, skill-wise. So. Yep.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Okay, ladies, once again, congratulations. Thank you very much.
7
Good luck in
assists,
Portland.
0 turnovers.
Yeah.
Hey, 12 assists, 4 turnovers.
Love it.
Pretty good
Love
night.
it here.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank y'all.
But go to that 8:30 class in the morning.
All right, at this time, we'll open up for questions for Coach Moore. Let's go back up front here.
Coach, 3rd time in school history where both the men's team and the women's team reached the Sweet 16.
Not quite.
Not quite.
But it's been since, I think, 89 is what I was told, and it happened twice before, but 89, so
right.
Neither one of us were alive in 89, right?
Anyway, you made the trip to D.C. to support Kevin Keats in the conference tournament. Kevin Keats is here tonight. Talk about not only the achievement that both teams have made, but the support that both programs have for each other.
Yeah, you know, our players on both sides really are good friends, tight. And Coach Keats and I mean, I love the guy. I mean, I'm so happy for him. He's just even with all this success, he comes to our game tonight, and he's, he called me at 8 o'clock this morning, which I really wasn't ready for. But when it's Coach Keats, you answer, But so happy for both. I mean, they have been on an unbelievable run. I've enjoyed it so much. We stayed over here at the State View, and we had a little meeting room in the back. And of course, we're watching their game. We're going to watch film as soon as it was over. The bar was right in front of us. Well, we were streaming, so they would go wild in the bar, and then we were like, okay, something good's happening. But it was a lot of fun, and let's keep it going.
Okay, let's get Brian on the edge, and then we'll get Aaron.
Hey, Coach, touched a little bit the players did on Zoe Brooks and how she just really stepped. But her and Maddie Cox also had some good minutes in the second quarter.
Well.
That 3 to go into the half, some good defense on Jackson. Just talk about how the freshmen stepped up today.
Yeah, no doubt. Obviously Zoe's been doing a lot for us all year long. But, again, on that stage, she hit some really big shots for us and made some nice plays. And then Maddie Cox, we put her on Jackson, and she might have done as good a job as anybody. I thought Maddie's just so smart. You tell her something one time, she's going to go out there and execute it. And then the three she hit at the end of the half was unbelievable. So, yeah, I'm excited about them. And, again, we wouldn't be here without them. And, again, it's been fun to watch them grow up kind of in front of our eyes.
Okay, let's get Aaron, and then we'll get you.
Wes, I was asking the players about the idea of, the game's getting tighter and tighter. It goes from 20 down all the way down to 2. Yeah. And they mentioned the South Carolina game that they had already seen them do something very recently. Yeah. Kind of what was going through your mind in those stretches and sort of the message you were trying to give them before Isaiah kind of got a couple of those buckets that gave you all some space again?
Well, I mean, again, I coach pretty much the same way, again, no matter what's going on. And, I got a little disappointed. We took an early shot, that one possession, took an early 3. We gotta recognize, time and score a little bit. But, we went through a stretch we didn't hit shots. I mean, quite honestly, we just had a hard time hitting some shots. And but, they hung in there, kept their heads up, and then hit some big ones when we had to have it. The bench kind of recommended we run that one play, set play, and I think Isaiah came behind the stagger screen and hit the big 3. So, again, it was just a matter of time, hopefully, that we'd hit a shot and get the momentum back. And, again, I think in the first quarter we gave up, 23 points. Did a much better job the next 2. Again, we owned the second quarter, they owned the third quarter, and the bookends were pretty even, but it's a game of runs, and I'm just proud of them for keeping their heads up. They could have real easily let the pressure get to them, and no doubt the crowd's a big plus. I mean, let's face it, playing here at home, that's why all year long I'm so stressed out, because I know every game matters so much if you're trying to be a top 16 seed and get to host. And, they've worked their tails off all year to get that little advantage, and just proud of them for cashing in on it.
Let's go here, and then we'll go one back for the next one.
You briefly mentioned that we held Tennessee. I think it was under 10 points in the second quarter, but in the first quarter, they were shooting very well from the field. Yeah. So what went in through your mind in between quarters to make those defensive changes?
Well, we did make a matchup change, and we went small on Jackson, which, I mean, what a player. They're saying she'll be second or third pick in the draft, and it's easy to see why. She's a matchup nightmare. If you put size on her, she's going to step out, shoot the 3, or take you off the bounce. If you go small, she's going to go inside and post you up, and the coaches there do a great job of recognizing the matchup and exploiting it. So, but I thought Madison Hayes in the second quarter did a really nice job, and then I agree when we put Maddie Cox in there, the assistants were saying, we may want to shift it a little, and I said, no, let's give her a chance. And I think her length helped a little bit, maybe on a couple of little jumpers. So, again, they're a very talented team. Key was killing us on the block, burying us down there. And then, like I said, Jackson, what can you say about her? You just hope that maybe she misses a couple.
Okay, we're going to stay on the aisle.
Yep. Talking about Jackson going top 3 in the WNBA draft, Cameron Brink up next, also projected to go top 3. 2 very different players, but what is it like to prepare for 2 very high-profile athletes back-to-back?
I'll be honest with you, I hadn't done a whole lot on Stanford yet, so I can't tell you much. I did watch the game on TV last night, but obviously we've had a coach and assistant that's been preparing for Stanford in case we face them. So as soon as we're done and I get out of here, I'll get a computer with a bunch of clips on it, and we'll start going over the scout. It is good to be able to catch our breath a little bit. And obviously Tara Vanderveer, Hall of Fame coach, winningest coach in the country, and Stanford, obviously a program with a lot of legacy. So, but at the same time, hey, this time of year, you just got to hope, like I said, hope you can match up with her a little bit, slow her down some, and hope we get hot. I thought we shot the heck out of it in the first half, and we just need to try to, keep that going a little more consistently. But, yeah, it's scary, no doubt, to have her sitting there next. But, hey, I'm glad we got the problem,
Okay, stay on the aisle there.
Speaking of Stanford, they will be joining the ACC next year, and so is this kind of like a preview matchup? So heading into watching film, is that a little bit on your mind, do you think?
Well, we're going to see if we can make this count as our game out there for next year, and since we're going out on the West Coast, so we'll let you know how that goes. But, yeah, I mean, I think, it's great for our conference. It's exciting, and, with all the shuffling around of teams and all that, you got to stay up with the times. And so I'm excited about those 3 teams coming in, and I was hoping I was going to dodge Cameron Brinks, but I guess we'll get to see her. I know she's declared she's leaving, but I guess we'll get a peek at her.
Any other questions for Coach? All right, Coach, thank you very
Thank
much.
y'all.
Congratulations.
Thank y'all
Good
for
luck
being
in
here.
Portland. The Okay, we'll now begin the Tennessee press conference. Coach Harper, if you could begin with an opening statement, please.
Yeah, obviously I'm disappointed that we didn't get the win. I'd love to have continued to take this team on the journey that we were on. And again, playing their best basketball at the end of the year. They were a lot of fun to coach. But just didn't have what we needed today. Obviously, NC State's a really good basketball team. We knew that coming in. And but I'm proud of my team. Obviously, there's a lot of fight in that on that team, and I'm just really proud of who they are and who they've been all year.
Okay, thank you, Coach. At this time, we'll open the floor up for questions for the student athletes. Once again, questions for the student athletes. Let's go up front here, Sully.
Rakia, just what will you remember about these 2 years at Tennessee finishing off your college career?
I'm just going to remember the good times at Tennessee, the way that Tennessee molded me into the woman I am today. I'm just grateful to have come here, and I feel like I made the right decision. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Okay, let's go on the aisle there.
Tamari, I'll pose the same question to you. What does it mean the past couple of years to get to play with Rakia and Jasmine and then also at Tennessee?
About the same as what Rakia said. I feel like we're a big family. We've been through a lot together this season, especially too. So just knowing that we had each other's back out there and we'll fight for each other made it really special.
Let's go to Cora on the side.
If both of you guys can answer this, just Rikia, you're on to the league after this, but what about this group that's coming back? What have you seen in them that makes you confident in them stepping into bigger roles next year and leading this program?
Rikia, could you go first?
Just how hard they go in practice. I feel like they're vets now, even, the young ones that's coming in. I feel like everybody just comes in and do their job, and we push each other day in, day out, so they're going to be dangerous next year. I'm excited to see it.
Tamari, do you have anything to add?
No.
All right, any other questions for the student athletes? Okay, we've got some Zoom calls. Lindsay, do you have a question, please?
Hey there, my question is actually for Kelly, so I can wait.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right. Jack Church, do you have a question for the student athletes?
Yes, Tamari, what was the change from the second to third quarter that allowed you to be so effective going into the second half?
I think just staying locked in on the defensive end. Gave up 25 points in the second quarter to our third and a 9 in the third quarter. So I think just coming back out, knowing that we had to fight, and it started on defense with getting stops.
Okay, Maria, do you have a question for the student athletes?
Yes, a question for Tamari. Tamari, I know you have options in front of you and need to decide what's next, but in the short term, do you look back and are you proud of yourself for getting back this year after what happened to you?
Yeah. I feel like together as a team, I think we've all been through so much in this year, last year. So just knowing that we were all able to rally together and keep playing for each other made this group really special.
And then a follow-up for Rikia. Rikia, I know this loss is difficult right now. Obviously, you have a lot in front of you coming up. What do you think are your biggest takeaways from your time at Tennessee?
Just growing on and off the court.
All right, are there any other questions for the student athletes? Okay, ladies, thank you very much. You're excused. You can return to the locker room. All right, at this time, we'll open things up for questions for Coach Harper. Let's just go ahead and get Lindsay. Are you still there?
I am, thank you.
Okay, go
hey,
ahead.
Kelly, great season. Can you talk to us about what the official said when NC State called that timeout? You thought that you guys had already grabbed that steal. Officiating has been a pretty hot topic this season across the country, and I'm wondering what they told you and if you want to comment on it.
Yeah, I was just told the whistle got blown before the ball was inbounded. I don't know if they checked it. I asked them to check. I'm not sure if they could. For us, the games aren't just singular. We had that same situation earlier this year, and it was the reverse. I was calling a timeout, whistle blew, but they didn't give it to us. So that was honestly what I was saying.
All right, do we have questions in the room? Let's go to Cora, and then we'll get you, and then we'll get Aaron.
This game got really tight at the end. You guys were, fouling to extend the game. Rikia Jackson only gets one field goal attempt, I think, in the last 3 minutes. Just what was NC State doing maybe to keep her from getting that, and why weren't you guys able to get her more looks near the end?
Yeah, well, they doubled her, and Jewel got open, made a shot next time down. Or one of the next possessions, we were trying to get her the ball, and we just didn't see her. And I think part of that was their ball pressure on the ball. Obviously, we're trying to get her the ball. I mean, everybody in the gym knows it.
Okay, let's go here, and then we'll get Aaron.
When you look back on the season in a few years, what do you think you'll remember from it?
Yeah, that's what I talked to the team about in the locker room. Man, this has not been easy for them this year. They went through a lot, and injuries combined with some tough losses, I'm telling you, it would have broken a lot of teams, hands down. But they believed in their staff, and they believed in each other, and they continued to work hard and push. And the result isn't the result that we wanted, but the result was we were playing our best basketball late. Unfortunately, maybe not today, but we've been playing really good, and I think we can be proud of who we ended up, where we ended up, and that's what I'm gonna remember. And obviously, if maybe some things went our way, maybe a ball bounced our way in November, like two possessions in November, we're hosting right now, and that makes a difference. But so they continue to fight, and I'm proud of that.
Okay, we're going to go to Aaron, and then we'll get Cora.
Hey, Kelly. The South Carolina game was such a gut-wrenching loss, but you guys showed a lot of fight in that one, and then here you are a few games later, you're down 20, and you get it all the way down to 2. Kind of, what do you think was what was going through your mind, and sort of the way the players were responding in those moments that they had done it before, getting out of a hole, and were flirting with doing it again and on the road?
They've done it a lot this year. They've been able to wipe away a lot of big leads, and I think one thing that has always helped us, our emotions rarely get the best of us. I mean, we stay pretty even-keeled. And then, our adjustments, the team can make adjustments. They do a good job going out and continuing to fight and continuing to execute, and not trying to hit the home run play, but just chip away. And I think, there's no panic with this group. They just they've been pretty steady in a lot of adverse situations this year.
Okay, let's go back to Cora.
It feels like the junior class really kind of came into their own this season in their roles, especially today. When Kaya went in that third quarter, she completely changed. There's the energy of the team. Sarah being a consistent contributor as a starter, and Jillian, and obviously Caroline too. But just for you, what about their development and what they've shown you this season gives you confidence in them leading this team and stepping into big roles next year?
Yeah, I think our players have had our returners have had a lot of big game experience this year. They played in some tough games, and some tight games, and some physical games, and they're very experienced. They're very motivated. I mean, that is some really hard working players. They get in the gym. They put in a lot of time. They want to be good. They want to be coached. So to me, you've got the experience and the work ethic with a lot of our returners.
Okay, let's go to the Zoom calls. Jack Church, did you have a question for Coach Harper?
Yes, Coach. Only 8 points in that second quarter. What was NC State able to do well, and what was Tennessee unable to do to create good shots in that quarter?
Yeah, I tell you what, our offensive execution today was not where I wanted it to be. At the end of the day, 72 points is probably not bad against NC State, and at the end of the day, it was probably more of our defense. But our offensive execution wasn't where I wanted it to be, and I'll tell you, I'll give credit to Reynolds Coliseum. It was very loud, and our team had a difficult time communicating our sets. That happened several times. Second half was a little bit better because they were in front of us, but it was tough in that first half. I didn't think we executed great in the first quarter. We just made shots when we didn't get those same shots in the second.
Okay, staying with Zoom, Lindsay Schnell, did you have a question for Coach Harper?
Yeah, Kelly, I had a quick follow-up for you. You said, you weren't sure if they went to the monitor and checked that. That happens a lot in late game situations. I wondered, have you ever thought about or wished that in college basketball you had one challenge the way that they do in college football, and you could challenge almost any call, and then if you lose it, you lose a timeout, but maybe it could change some things?
Yeah, I've thought about it. We've thought about it a lot recently, and I'm sure there's some implications that I haven't thought of, but right off the top of my head, I think that that's something that could be a positive. I know they don't want to slow the game down, but I'm telling you, in some of these tight games, you want to make sure you get it right, and I wouldn't mind seeing that now. You might explain it to me, and I might change my mind later if there's some implications I haven't thought about. But I think we were actually discussing it as a staff this weekend, talking about having a little red thing that you throw out on the court. Not really, but, making it like football.
Thank you.
Maria Cornelius on Zoom. Do you have a question for Coach Harper?
Yes, please. Coach, the replay shows that the ball was in play. Already had taken a bounce and was in play on the court when the timeout was granted. I know you can what if these things to death. I go back to the missed travel call against South Carolina with 3.8 seconds left. I mean, you can't linger on them because they're done, but just how hard is it to stomach the fact that the outcome of 2 postseason games was possibly altered by either a missed call or a bad call?
In these games, these teams are really good. And one mistake, one missed shot, one missed assignment at any point in the game can change it.
Let's go to the aisle.
Coach, can you just kind of sum up what the senior class meant, and obviously Rakia and JP who are out of eligibility?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously, I think, man, Jasmine Powell has to go from what she how she played last year, and then to have the load that she had this year, especially when Destiny got hurt. She had a lot on her, and I'm really proud of her and how she performed. She had an injury that kept her from doing an awful lot. People don't even know all that, but she's been tough all year, and I'm so proud of that. And then obviously Rakia is special. I mean, just special. So gifted. And when you get a chance to watch her play, you watch her in person, she's just so talented. I mean, she's one of the best players in the country. She's that good. And, deserves every accolade that she gets. And probably some she doesn't get, to be honest with you. So she's super talented. And it's been fun. It's been fun for me as a coach to move the pieces and to put them in the best position to be successful. When you have a player like Rakia Jackson, it gives you so many options.
Okay, we're going to get Cora, and that'll be the last question.
You just talked about, Rakia, the basketball player, but I'm thinking of the SEC tournament press conference. You were really emotional, and, Jewel did it too, but Rakia just kind of grabbed your shoulder on the way out to comfort you a little bit. Just how would you describe the relationship you've been able to build with her and what that means to you?
Yeah. I'm proud of her and grateful that she chose Tennessee, and I think that, like she said, I think it was a great decision for her, and what, hopefully we were able to do for her. She has grown up a lot in the last 2 years, and my thought is now that she's walking out, I feel really good about who she's going to be now and how successful she's going to be at the next level. And we've worked really hard to try to help prepare her for life, as we do all of them, and for what's in store for her. And I just hope that she continues to do what she's doing, because it is really special and fun to watch.
All right, I'm afraid that's all the time we have. Coach, thank you very much.